Well, it's March 15th, and I should be thinking about kayaking, but Mother Nature had different ideas. We had a bit of snow here in the mid-Atlantic, so I'm going to spend my time getting ready for kayaking. Here's a view of the FeelFree Lure that you don't see often, the bottom. And the reason I'm showing you this today is because I'm going to spend some time covering some of the areas that I think are a little bit prone to wear, even though the FeelFree has a pretty solid hull. Just bothers me that it's not protected. So I will protect this and a few other key areas with something that is very cost effective. This stuff, Gorilla Tape. It's cheap, it's effective. This is the second season I'll use it, and it's easy to apply, easy to reapply when the other ones wear out, and I don't feel bad about ripping it off and adding new. So stick with me, and I'll share with you the parts of the FeelFree Lure that I cover. Starting at the front or the bow, you can see here that it's a little flat. It's not built that way, but I noticed a few times after just loading it and unloading it, as well as maybe dragging it on certain boat ramps, that it tends to scrape up and flatten pretty quickly. So I'm going to protect this a little bit, actually with maybe 2 coats of Gorilla Tape this season versus the one that I had last season. Last season the one did fine, but I only had it for half a season. It was starting to get a little threadbare at the end there, so I'll likely put 2 coats on this season. Here's another spot that was a little surprising. It doesn't actually. This is the spot where the sonar pod comes through on the bottom, and there's this little rise right here in the hull, and it has a few scrapes. And while generally speaking, it's in pretty good shape, I'm going to put some covering right along this area. I think I put some there last year, but I'm going to reapply it again this year. There are 2 spots on the back tail end of the FeelFree Lure that tend to get scraped up. One is when loading and unloading, just carrying the FeelFree around. This one gets scraped up a little here and on the other side. And the other area I found is you can see the flatness here, and maybe you can see the flatness there. But I'm going to try to protect this whole area here. It's a little touchy because I don't want to stop the wheel from working, but I do want to protect this area here. Again, it's pretty thick here, but I don't want to take any chances, and I'll do the same to both sides. It seems like this side is getting worn much more than the other side. So I'm going to protect both sides, and then I'm going to look through the hull one more time and see if there are any other spots. One thing I'll tell you, the great thing about the FeelFree Lure is I do have a couple spots here along the way that did get a couple gouges. You can see this one here has a little bit of a gouge. I have no problems with these. I've never had a problem with water leaks. I've never had a problem with any kind of feeling like the hull was going to give way. So this is a well-made kayak from my perspective. And just like anything, I hate to see it get beat up, but I'm not going to over baby it. At the same time, I'm going to try to protect it where I can. So I'm using my finger to smooth out some of these rough spots. Not that it matters much, but you know, I don't think it has any effect on the seaworthiness or the ability to cut through waves. Now remember, I'm just looking to protect the hull, and I think this does a pretty good job. So I think that's a finished product. Not bad, and it kind of blends in with the black that's there. Not going to be the same for everything, but it's not bad. So let's move on. I'm trying to protect just the hull. I don't want to go too deep into the sonar pod area because I don't want to interfere with what the sonar pod's doing. So again, I'll just do this. Smooth out as many areas as I can. Make it as flat as I can. I'm not winning any, I'm not going to try to win any popularity contests by using this. I'm going to smooth it out as best I can. I'm just trying to protect this area right in front of the sonar pod. I'm getting scraped up. That's a finished product. These areas are a little trickier. This requires a little more finesse, only because it's got that curved corner. And I'm interested, if any of you are doing this, what you're finding the best way to do it is. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in with a piece of tape. I'm going to wind up cutting what I think I need to curve. I'll do the original curve around the edge. I'll shape it with a cut. Like I did on the front. I'm going to use this just to push it down with my fingers. Again, shape it with the cut. And again, I'm not out to win any popularity contests or beauty contests with this. It's more functional versus form. You can see this one actually turned out really well. If I can show you that. That one turned out pretty well just because I cut it right there and folded it under. And just from a flow dynamics kind of sense, I put the fold over top where the water's flowing this way. Let's try to do this second. I'll do the next one. This one I might shorten up a bit, only because this is where the serial number is. For some reason it seems a little more protected. Again, not a bad job. Nice and protected. Smooth that out with my fingers. With the Gorilla Tape, it'll stay on there pretty good. Yeah, maybe in the next month, maybe I'll put it on a couple times during the season. I feel like I need to do more protecting, maybe another layer. It looks like it's on there pretty good. And the tape goes a little bit further, so I may take strips of tape in a little different configuration because I really only want to protect this. I don't want to get caught up on the wheel or too much on the inside. Last season I kind of had to wrap it around here because I used a long strip of tape. So I may take longer strips of tape that are thinner, cut to size, and see how that works out. Skinny, just right. And I'm going to do the same thing I did around the edge. I'm just going to cut it. Just give it a nice little pinch down there. Just going to give it a cut right there. Again, fold for kind of flow dynamics. It's not going to be pretty, but you know what, again, I'm not trying to win any beauty contests or popularity contests. I'm just trying to get this thing covered. Yeah, that's going to be nice. And we'll see. I mean, you know, even if it stays on for the first month or the first couple weeks, you know, it's fine. Compared to some of the other products on the market that are $70, $80 and are a little bit more geared to this, I think this will do fine. Get it. And I find if you pull on it, it's like anything. I used to make model airplanes, RC model airplanes, and if you pull on something while you're setting it, you tend to get a better fit. I think where I spent a little more time when pulling it and stretching it to the fit, it actually went a little bit better. Like this one seems to fit a little bit better around this corner than say this one did. You can see that flat area comes out now and is covered. So if I wanted to, I could put another reinforced spot here if I wanted to. Just to reinforce it a little bit more, use some of this tape up. Seems to be a tough spot. Reinforcing the front. Second layer. Again, not being pretty. Could have probably stretched that out a little bit more. I just want to reinforce the areas that seem to get hit the most. Actually, that wasn't it. Think about it. It's probably more back here. Flat spot right there, and that's where I'm giving it a little extra tape. Review. Here we are with the finished product. You know, again, nothing pretty about this. I mean, it's not bad. It has no impact that I found last year to the performance of the craft. So, you know, you could argue that you're losing a tenth of a paddle stroke or something like that, a tenth of a mile an hour on this because it's not as streamlined. I mean, you know, for you flow dynamics engineers out there, please let me know what your thoughts are. Here's where I patched it or covered right around the sonar pod. And further back on the tail end, you can see I did an okay job there, a better job on this side, and an okay job on that side with respect to look. Again, it just covers it. And a much better job on this side. And I'll spend a little time just working these down, and if there's any bubbles that pop up, I'll just push them out. But I think I did a pretty good job. I'm happy with it. It'll be fine for the spring. I'll probably take a look at it in May or June and see how it looks. Actually, I'll inspect it every time I come off the water or loading it onto my kayak or onto my Jeep. But there we are. Hope that was helpful to some of you. And hopefully you enjoyed that, and if you have any questions, please post in the links below, in the comment section below. Again, this is Gorilla Tape. This is pretty straightforward stuff. It's pretty sturdy. It's duct tape on steroids in my mind, and it's black, so it probably will fit with most of the decor here. And again, if you're not into how it looks, then this will be fine for you. If you do care how it looks, then I'm sure they sell Gorilla Tape or duct tape in certain colors. You might mix and match. All right, folks, thanks, and again, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think.